All right, guys, and it is another Tuesday morning here in East Brunswick. It is the Buzz About EB, the podcast. Yes, the buzz that everybody's buzzing about. Everything about East Brunswick, we conquer it right here on the Mayor's Podcast. Episode 19. Man, we made it. 19 episodes. Not too shabby.
I know, almost into the 20s.
So we've had two live podcasts, one from the museum and one from the water park. What do you prefer, in studio or outside?
Oh, I think being outside is a lot more fun.
Yeah, I agree. And it's always like a learning curve. Like you learn something. At the museum, I learned so much about East Brunswick that I had no idea. I didn't know that George Washington came marching through here at one point.
I know.
That was pretty interesting. And it was just interesting to see some of the old artifacts.
What do you think about us today?
Oh my God! You know, that is a great question. What would some of them think about us today?
I think it's a great storyline for a movie. Like some of our founding fathers, if they were to be able to be like reincarnated, like they did with Jurassic Park, and you just brought them back today, what would they think?
I gotta tell you, I'm not so sure. You know, because they'd have to understand that our lives revolve around social media, the cell phone itself. I mean, they would not be. They would say, "What is all of this?"
Oh, of
course. They didn't have any of that stuff. And then you're right. The way, you know, do people really care about each other the way we imagine people before us caring about each other? I feel like the animosity has grown so much around people.
Well,
no?
Yeah, people coat stories to that over time that takes on an aura that might not have been exactly the way it took place then.
Yeah.
I think human nature doesn't change.
Right.
So the human nature that we see today probably existed then too, and way before that. That doesn't change, but how they would adapt to a world today where
fast-paced
cars and it's fast-paced and planes and you wanted to go from A to B, that would be days. Today you want to be in Florida, you're there in 2.5 hours.
Oh, please. And after the weekend we just had with this nor'easter that just blew through here, I would give anything to be out in Florida right now. Oh my, how did your house, where you live, how did it fare through this nor'easter?
Yeah, we really didn't. It was a wind event. We really didn't have much.
Yeah, so I have some big trees in the backyard, and one tree toppled over. Luckily for me, though, it's actually a township thing, so the township has to come and cut it down. So I was like, I don't have to worry about
That's another thing they didn't understand. Now there's all these weather terms, vortexes and nor'easters.
Right.
And all. I grew up, we never. What the heck was that?
You know, that's so funny that you say that, because that is so true. I think about that often. I didn't even know what a nor'easter was.
Right.
They didn't have that. I don't understand.
Say that then. It was just a bad storm.
Where did nor'easter come from?
I think they come up with these things. They just have to invent something new.
I can't believe that you brought that up, and I'm not even joking you, because I was thinking the same exact thing. I felt like weather was just bad weather. That's all it was. Nobody was like nervous. Nobody had like anxiety over these crazy storms.
No, you kind of looked forward to it. You sat indoors. You made sure that you cleaned a pathway for your car with the snow, and you laid in a whole bunch of movies. Netflix.
You are so right.
A whole chain event of watching one episode after another. You couldn't do that. So, I don't know. You actually talk to your family.
Oh, please.
Oh, my God.
Those were the days, talking with your family.
I even went out and raised, I would go do driveways and $5-10 to do a driveway.
Who did it?
And
That's right.
Made a ton of money. So nobody does that anymore.
Listen, we all did things differently. I delivered newspapers. You know, kids don't even do that anymore. I went and collected. I had to knock on people's doors and ask for the week's money. So you're right. So much has changed, you know, over the course of the years. And
that's just our lifetime. So there's all these lifetimes since the founding fathers. So just think of all the things that they wouldn't recognize the same world that they helped us create.
No, and then you know what else? They wouldn't have a dunk tank. Let's get to that. How was East Brunswick
That
Day?
they actually did have.
No, so you were a donkey in the dunk tank at East Brunswick Day. But let's overall, I'm hearing through the hallways here that this year's East Brunswick Day was the biggest that you've ever had.
Yeah, it was absolutely the biggest. And I think that there was a lot of things that had to do with it. One, I think people now know to look forward to it because it's a great event. We had great weather, and there were more and more vendors each year that are participating.
Right.
So I think all of that conspired to get us the outcome that we did. And there were some people that complained about traffic getting in. That's a correctable, manageable problem. But by and large, I think if you spoke to most people that were there, they had a great time.
When people see you out and about, will they just what's their immediate reaction when somebody sees you? Do they give you the compliment that you deserve for all the hard work and all the work that you're doing here in East Brunswick, or do they immediately fire in with a complaint? Because I would be like, look around. There's so many great things that you are conquering. So for someone just to come up to you with like an immediate complaint, it's kind of like, come on, man, give me a break.
No, I think that most of the time people reserve that for places where they don't have to face you in person.
Gotcha.
So they'll do that on social media. They'll send a letter. They'll do an email, that type of stuff. And by and large, when someone has something to complain about, we take that stuff seriously. We always want to try to be better.
Right.
But what we've allowed with social media is anybody to complain about anything, which really is just usually a handful of people that are in their own little echo chamber. It's the same people over and over. And what they don't understand when they do that is that the vast majority of people that are reading that are thinking, oh, I can't believe that person even wrote that down and complained. And now we all know who you are.
Right, that's right. You can't hide anymore.
So you can't hide.
No, you can't.
So if you want to be a jerk, everybody in the world knows, look, I can't believe this guy actually wrote that.
That is true.
And so if you think you're really saying something unique and you're really getting to me, think twice.
Right, gotcha. Right, you gotta have a thicker skin. And you're right. You wouldn't be in the position you're in if you couldn't take the heat.
And most of the people that come up to you are usually very happy to see you, and they are, can we take a picture? Can we chat? Often if they're happy about something, they'll tell you. But by and large, they're good interactions, and I look forward to things like that. It's not to say that people who have legitimate complaints and gripes don't have an opportunity to do that, but that generally is not the place that people will do it.
So when you were the donkey at the dunk tank,
it was fun.
Was that what I was going to say?
And
was
it was
fun?
actually kind of hot out, so it was refreshing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures, and I'm like, look at you. Yeah, you were a pro. You know, some of them they hit the ding, and then you went down in the water, or whatever. And I think, you know what? That's the thing that people don't realize is that on these really hot days, when you're the donkey, that ain't that bad.
No, it's not that
because
bad.
You're actually enjoying it, and people are like, oh my God, that's terrible to be the donkey. Really? Think again, because you guys are all outside sweating while we're enjoying ourselves.
And even if it was actually kind of hard to hit that the red thing and connect the bullseye, and to move it. So a lot of people hit it, but it didn't move, so you don't get dunked. So especially for the little kids, if you just hit it, they let them come over.
Oh, yeah, right. They run up and they hit it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, listen, been there, done that. I have been myself. I've been a donkey, and I think that's why it's a lot of fun. People don't realize how nice it really is sometimes to get refreshed.
And kudos to the other people. I was not the only one. We had a bunch of people from the Board of Ed. We had people from the police department and the schools. So I think the principal of the high school was there. So it was a lot of fun.
That's really great. Some of the other things that are going on. I know you're a big New Jersey Devils fan. Are you excited for the season? The season just kicked off, and so the Devils, what are they, 2-1? I think.
Well, they lost as usual to Carolina. And invariably, I'm watching the game, and they're doing well. At the end.
It does. There's certain teams that in all sports, when you play against those teams, you can't beat them no matter what it is, And you're right. The Devils, for some reason.
The Carolina Hurricanes have their number.
Yep.
And it's always at the very end. So if you think, they're ahead by a couple of goals, maybe we could leave or not really stay tuned. Don't.
Yeah.
They've beaten us with 2 minutes left.
Right. You're right. Yeah, now you're a really big Devils fan. How many games do you get a chance to go to?
I have season tickets. I've had them for years.
Oh, nice.
My son uses most of them because I'm not always available for a game.
You're always
He's
busy.
More than happy to take the tickets and go with his friends, which is fine.
Right.
And I have a cousin who lives up in North Jersey, and he's got a couple of tickets, so we're all sitting together. So if he can't use his, he'll often give them to me, so we'll have about 6 seats. And if I don't need mine, I'll give them to him. So we managed to use the seats.
Oh, that's a good showing for you guys.
And it's a lot of fun. The kids grew up in the Devils Stadium, even when it was out in Rutherford.
Yeah, right. Remember that? The Brendan Byrne Arena.
Well, actually, it was Continental Arena then.
Was it Continental?
Yeah.
So I'm even going back even further then. So I'm going Brendan Byrne, then Continental. Wow.
Then Izod, I think it was for a while.
Izod Center. Good memory.
But
That's right.
I think the Devils were out of there by then. But it was. But we saw 2 Stanley Cups.
That's true.
Of the 3.
Listen, the Devils of, what was it? The Devils of the early 2000s, right? The late 90s.
They won in 95.
Right.
They won in 2000 and in 2003.
Yeah, they were unstoppable. You had Brodeur, they were fantastic goalie.
Stevens.
Oh my God.
Danico. It was a great team.
Those guys were great.
So those are fun times, and the kids grew up in watching hockey and watching Devils hockey.
Right.
And so we intend to keep going.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, this past weekend you did Coffee with a Cop, no?
Yes.
How was that? How did that go?
That's something that the police department's been doing for a couple of years now.
Okay.
The chief has a bevy of officers that'll be out there and they just interact with the public. And I think that's generally it's a good thing to do because police often get a bad rap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that most people, when they see them one-on-one, recognize they're
regular people.
Regular people.
Yeah.
They want to do the right thing, keeping everybody safe, and more often than not, while the news may print the things that happen that often shine a bad light on law enforcement, but 99% of the time they do get it right.
Sure.
And they do a phenomenal job. And the others are just exceptions, and we need to know that.
Right. No, and listen, but you know what always happens is when a bad story bleeds out, they make the bad story 10 times worse. They blow it up. They really do. And it's unnecessary. And I think the East Brunswick...
I think it's more than unnecessary. It's harmful.
Sure it is.
Because it makes people be fearful of law enforcement.
We're living in that era now. Yeah, it's horrible. You got to watch, and you really should. People should be paying attention more so to the fact, it's just like you stated, that these police officers are regular people with families. And you should really realize that.
Yeah. And they're doing a great job. And we actually last night at the Township Council meeting recognized the fact that our police department got accredited by the Chiefs of Police Association for the 3rd time. There are very few townships where the police department's accredited.
Okay.
Fewer where they've reaccredited, and fewer still that are now on their 3rd accreditation. So we should be extraordinarily proud of the work.
Let's go East Brunswick PD.
They need to know that we appreciate their hard work.
That's great. That's terrific. It really is. Yeah. All right, so listen. So today's episode, we have something that's big that's coming up, and it's Restaurant Week. So we have decided to bring on East Brunswick's Economic Development Officer, Robert Zuckerman, who's heading up Restaurant Week, to dive into it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on and how long it's been going on,
and talk about food.
Who doesn't love food?
Who doesn't love food?
Who doesn't love food? So, all right, let's take a quick look in and around East Brunswick. And when we get back, we've got Robert Zuckerman sitting in with us, and he's going to talk to us all about East Brunswick's Restaurant Week. We'll be right back. Good morning, Greg T here. About to show you how easy it is to go from East Brunswick Tower Center to New York City. Coach USA also offers 10-trip, 20-trip, and monthly passes that can easily be purchased online or in the app.
What's good about the commute is every 10 minutes to Port Authority, Wall Street, or Crosstown. The peak rush hour. So this is what people in East Brunswick look for. Is frequent buses to New York City.
Start Ticker now. 40 minutes from East Brunswick to New York City.
It's easy to rest, relax, and even get some work done while commuting on Coach USA. 40 minutes from East Brunswick to New York City. For more information, go to CoachUSA.com. East Brunswick, this is just a reminder that all bulk item pickups must be scheduled in advance, either online at eastbrunswick.org or by calling Solid Waste and Recycling at 732-390-6984. Here are friendly guidelines to remember. Residents may place a maximum of 3 bulk items per week. Mattresses and box springs must be completely wrapped in plastic. Refrigerator doors must be removed. Wood bundles must be no longer than 4 feet and weigh under 50 pounds. And electronics are not collected curbside. They must be dropped off at the East Brunswick Recycling Center. Let's all work together to keep East Brunswick clean and safe. Levon right here, a resident of East Brunswick, New Jersey. Levon, go ahead.
I would like to know, when will Route 18 be fixed?
When will Route 18 be fixed? The big question everybody wants to know.
Well, Levon, I think that's a great question. A lot of people are asking that. Have to tell you, when I first took office and all of the Route 18 work was being done in New Brunswick and Old Bridge, everybody in East Brunswick was wanting to know when the mayor was going to get the town on the docket so that the state could come out and take care of Route 18 in East Brunswick. So they're here now. And now the number one question is, when are they going to be done, because of the clear issue it has with making some of our roads almost impossible to navigate. The work is complicated. There's a lot of parts to that project along the entire length of the 4 miles that traverse East Brunswick. But according to the Department of Transportation, this is a state project, it looks like they're going to be finished sometime around 2027. That's completely dependent on weather. It's completely dependent on a lot of things to do with areas underground that they might not know, or discover problems that they didn't know about ahead of time. But right now they're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. But the work is clearly a massive project and includes water lines that are the township lines. If we don't do that now, it's an $18 million project. Doing it now, the state's giving us half the money towards that project. If we wait to do it later, we have the full freight and all the repair work to Route 18. But that water line alone added another year to the project. So right now we're looking at 2027.
All right, and that is another look inside and around East Brunswick. Thank you guys very much for hanging out here. Episode 19 of the Buzz About East Brunswick. I'm Greg T. This is Mayor Cohen, and we've got East Brunswick's Economic Development Officer, Robert Zuckerman, with us. Rob, thanks very much for being a part of today's podcast.
Thank you for having me. I love the show, so it's great to be here.
He loves the show. I love it. I love it. We got somebody. All right. That's not bad.
We got a click.
That's right. So it's really big, and it's happening within the next week and a half. It's East Brunswick's Restaurant Week, right? Was it October 20th through the 26th?
It is, yes. October 20th through October 26th. It's our 4th restaurant week here in East Brunswick. I know even our BA Joe has been talking about it for 2 weeks nonstop, and it really is a...
all those people that say there's no place to eat in East Brunswick, Rob's going to tell us exactly where they can go to eat and save some money.
Exactly. And, we don't have a downtown in East Brunswick.
Right.
That's we all know that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these restaurant weeks are focused on the downtown type feel. Sure. And those couple restaurants that are there. But we have a little bit different thing here. So we have our East Brunswick Restaurant Week, and our East Brunswick Restaurant Week focuses on all of our businesses, and they range. They range from those quick bites to the diner where you can do breakfast and you'll be able to do your meetings, and the coffee shop, and then it's going to be the nice sit-down restaurants like Orchard Park and Gusto, and the many different cultural restaurants that you can take your wife to on.
I am so glad that you guys keep on talking about that. The many cultural restaurants that East Brunswick has. It is without a doubt. I was stunned when I did a little investigating myself of how many cultural diverse restaurants that East Brunswick has, and it is just stunning how many there are here. I had no idea. Please expand on that. And that's an incredible thing. It really is.
I think the town's grown, become more diverse, so it's now catering to a lot of the people that live here. But that's a good thing for all the rest of us, because it gives us an opportunity to try foods and delicacies from other cultures that you might not have been exposed to.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, for this restaurant week, we have Korean, there's Japanese, Chinese, Indian, gyros. There's Italian, sushi, a seafood restaurant, Filipino, Mexican, Mediterranean. I mean, it really runs the gamut. Yeah. And there's multiple of some of those restaurants too that cover South Indian and North Indian, different styles of Mexican. More the gyros and the traditional Mediterranean.
The Asian restaurants that are all coming from different parts of Asia, and each have a different theme, different thing that they promote, which makes it there's Thai, there's Chinese, there's
Right.
there's Korean, Japanese.
And I enjoy how some of these restaurants are actually, designed, their interiors, like when you go into some of these restaurants, you almost feel like you're sitting in like another country, eating this type of food. It's really great. It really is. And just hats off to those that have come here and have done that and designed some beautiful culturally diverse restaurants here in East Brunswick. And now what do some of the owners of these restaurants, what do the restaurants receive? What do they get out of being a part of Restaurant Week?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. I mean, I think first, obviously, there's a business reason for them. There's a bit of an advertising that they get to have. They get to be on the signs, and they're going to be on the website for a year. And that's some of the goal for us, right?
And they get to have you talk about them.
That's true. That's true.
We're trying to help the businesses, and then there's some big businesses, but there's also a lot of local small businesses. I think a majority of these are local small businesses, and many of them even owned by East Brunswick residents. And I think part of this is to promote them and support our local business community. So for them, there's a bit of an advertising aspect, but a lot of these restaurants, they want to give back to the community. They're part of the community.
Sure.
And whether they're some of the bigger ones, bigger corporate ones, or they're the smaller ones, they all feel the same way. So this, for them, is a way to kind of like be part of the community, be part of something that East Brunswick is doing.
Now, what's it like this year compared to the years before? Does it just continue to grow, or where are you at?
It has. I mean, since is the fourth year, and since the first year, it's continued to grow.
Great.
It's basically about 30 restaurants right now. There's some new ones. There's some that weren't able to do it. Unfortunately, like EB Chinese, she does it every single year, but I think she's closed for renovations that week. So
okay.
Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to
Can't help that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is on that one.
But that's unfortunate, But she's
and that's
always been a
somebody
great
who's
partner.
always
Yes.
giving back to the community. So this would not have been something she'd have missed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I think I look forward to it, and I think it's great, for families to be able to get out. And let's face it, that there are some economic, some people that are. It's tight for some families right now. So to be able to take advantage of some of the discounts that some of these restaurants are offering, I think that that's a plus as well, right?
Well, yes, and the specials run the gamut. I mean, they're all whatever the business felt work best for them. So there's some prefix menus, and then there's some that are discounts, and there's some that just throw in a dessert. There's a whole bunch of different types of things, and you can go onto the eastbrunswick.org website, and you go under economic development to restaurant.
I love it. He covers it all. He go to eastbrunswick.org. I didn't even get a chance. He's got it already.
Well, it's a searchable web page that we built where you can select the type of food you want, or you can select all, and it'll give you a list of all the ones that
They could
have
even
that
get
kind of
onto
food.
the menu if you wanted to, also from
Well,
their
some
website.
of them have the menu, but you can get to their website from there, and it has their special listed. It has a little information on it. It's got their contact, the hours, all those kind of things. Caveat, all information provided from them. So if the hour's wrong,
Right.
It's okay.
But I think that you did a fantastic job. I went onto eastbrunswick.org and I clicked on where it's Restaurant Week, and I think you just did an excellent job. That it's so informative that your restaurant that you're choosing, you can click on and see what the actual special is. So I think that's a really nice job that you did at eastbrunswick.org. You really did a great job there.
Thank you. It takes some time. But you mentioned about families, so I think next week is also parent-teacher conferences in our schools. So.
I was always sick to my stomach on those, man.
Don't cook.
Oh, boy.
We don't want to tell them not to cook, but don't cook. And go out to some of our restaurants.
And then afterwards, pick up the kid, and you can go get bubble tea and some other nice things for them.
Oh, please. What kid doesn't love
ice cream?
Yeah.
Crepes. It's really nice.
I think that's great. And look, my kids love the bubble tea. They're big fans of it. So we're always finding another place that has the bubble tea. So now we'll be venturing on into East Brunswick to enjoy bubble tea here as well. Yeah. Oh, you guys are bringing back so many memories. Parent-teacher conferences. I get like knots in my stomach. How can I make my parents not go to parent-teacher conferences? But what a way to go. And then you can celebrate if your kid's doing really well. Then take them to one of your favorite restaurants in East Brunswick. That's and capitalize on their deals that they're having there. I think it's really great. Another thing that's going on is Harvest Fest, right?
Yes.
So what can you talk about? What can you tell me about Harvest Fest?
So every year at the end of Restaurant Week, try to cap it off at the same weekend that Harvest Fest is. So it's going to be on the 25th, this Saturday. And it's 11:30 to 5:30, and it's a cute idea. So the Arts Coalition organizes it, and they've set up this kind of walkable market with some music and food, and
by the historic section of town where we were
section.
having
By the museum.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right, down Old
Maple
Bridge
Street.
Turnpike, down that area. Okay.
And the museum will be open, and they'll have some historic tours also. They'll have some children's costume contests, and they're also going to have they've partnered in the past. I think it's Jersey Cyclone Breweries.
Okay.
They have some local beer. I think it's from Somerset, and they'll have a whole
beer
bar.
garden,
beer
and,
garden.
and then they'll have obviously all of the food trucks.
Right,
Yes.
right.
And a lot of the departments from the township will be out there displaying some of the things that the library will be there usually, and they'll often have the other organizations from the township will also have booths there. But it really gives an opportunity to highlight the historic section of town that a lot of people don't know we even have.
I would guarantee that there are people that live on the other side of East Brunswick that they probably don't venture into the area. You're right. They don't even realize that historic area exists. And, now my parents grew up in that area. So a little bit up the hill from there. So I used to bike ride through there as kids and see some of the old houses. And it is pretty fascinating. It's a good time, though. And so I think that's a great spot for Harvest Fest there. Go ahead. Tell me more.
It's a nice fall activity. It's a nice day. Come spend a couple hours, get some food, music, drinks, and buy some things from some of the vendors.
The people that run the museum, I think we also mentioned it at the last episode, will often this time of year, closer to Halloween, do tours at night through the cemetery.
Oh,
and they light up the area with lights so that there's little paths and then little tables that depict some of the people that have departed, and they have somebody dressed up as that person talking in first person from what they know about that person's history. And so you actually can interact with somebody who lived, 100 to 200 years ago.
That's cool.
And talk to them about what life was like here in East Brunswick at that time. So it's very cool.
Oh, that's really neat.
One of my favorite activities here in East Brunswick. I think this weekend and maybe the weekend after also.
Yeah,
they're doing,
it's their big fundraising project.
Yeah.
But it's a ton of fun. And there's always new people that have moved into town, or kids that maybe they were really little when they moved here and now they're old enough to actually enjoy a tour like that without getting scared.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that as a kid growing up. I would have loved to have done something like that. That is really interesting. That I think is really neat for the family to go out there, and that is the perfect setting for fall for the fall. For the Harvest Fest. Excuse me. That's the perfect setting. It's great.
Yeah, get some goblins and ghosts and all that, scare the bedoodles out of people.
Oh, I'm into it. Oh, that's so great. That is terrific. So, and again, you said, Robert, that happens at the end of Restaurant Week.
Yeah, so, Restaurant Week is actually going to end that Sunday.
Okay.
So it starts next Monday, and it goes through to the Sunday. So 7 days, so the 20th to 26th. And Harvest Fest is on the 25th, on the Saturday.
Gotcha. And again, you can get all the information at eastbrunswick.org. Go do some research there, and you click under Restaurant Week. It'll take you right there. And really, I think you did an excellent job. I was very fascinated to see that it's almost like my own menu sitting there at eastbrunswick.org that I can find out, which restaurant I want to go to and the deals that are going on. So it's really good. You did a great job.
Really, really, really do want people to come out and start noticing some of the restaurants that we have here. Despite people that may say there's nothing here, that's actually not true.
Not true at all. Not true at all.
If they can come out and visit some of them, the profit margin in the food industry, as many people know, isn't that great. Mm-hmm. And we want to keep them here. So this is an opportunity to really get out, explore, and support our own local businesses. Because like Rob said, most of them are small businesses.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. I love it. I think it's a great thing. And you're right. There is no real, Main Street downtown, so everything's spread out, but it's great. It is okay, and it's great. And the restaurants, they need all the extra publicity that they can get, all the extra advertising. So it's great for the restaurants to participate and be a part of it as well.
I think the other thing that people often don't recognize is that even when something is a chain or part of a franchise, that's still a small business owner that's running that business.
True.
So to simply say, all we have are chain restaurants here is really not very fair, because a lot of them come here, they invest in that restaurant, and they're running it like a small business. Mm-hmm. So I think that, again, we want more of them here. Everybody says they want more of them here, but they're not going to stay here if they can't survive.
You're
They
right.
need to be there and use them.
I couldn't have said that. Hence why you're the mayor. Hence why you are the mayor. I love it. Anything else you want to add to Restaurant Week and
Just besides the website, you can also go on Facebook or on Instagram. There's an East Brunswick Restaurant Week page, and you can see, some of the restaurant or all the restaurants there. There's some videos with some of the owners as well, highlighting
I was trying to
what they
print
do.
out some of them. There's just so many.
Looks like they had a lot of fun doing that too. Actually,
It's nice, yeah. We don't get to do enough of them, but it's nice to be able to do with some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Marley and Harley's Creamery. I'm really excited for that one. It's gonna be great. Sandy's Luncheonette. Who doesn't know Sandy's Luncheonette's been around for a long time here in East Brunswick, and they're participating. So I think it's really cool. It's great job.
Yeah, it's a mixture of some that have been here for a long time, some that are brand new. So it's great. Please come out.
And Cones and Crepes. That I've been there. I've been there. That one I've been to, and I will go again. Cones and Crepes. I will definitely be there. Well, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. Let's take another look inside and around East Brunswick, and we'll be back more with the Buzz About East Brunswick podcast. Hey, East Brunswick. This is a friendly reminder from the East Brunswick Public Works Recycling Division about curbside recycling. No plastic bags, please. Please empty recyclables directly into the bin. Please recycle all of your cans, glass, plastics, paper, cardboard, and newspaper. Do not recycle greasy food containers, shredded paper, batteries, cords, pots, pans, or small appliances curbside. Those belong in the garbage or proper drop-off. Let's keep East Brunswick clean and green. For more info, please call 732-390-6984 or visit eastbrunswick.org.
My name is Dave Mummy. I'm the general manager at Tamarack Golf Course. If you're looking for good golf in East Brunswick, this is where it's at. We renovated the East Golf Course 4 years ago, and it opened 2 years ago, and we renovated the West over the last 2 years. In renovating both golf courses, we changed the irrigation, the drainage, we revamped all the greens, tee boxes, bunkers, and we did the fairways on the West Golf Course. We have two 18-hole golf courses, both championship golf courses. This is a driving range open to the public for all ages and skill levels, for people to come and work on their game.
It's me, Greg T, Mr. EB, at a brand new park in East Brunswick. Country Lane has been improved. This is awesome.
We do like the uniqueness and the variety of the different things that the park has to offer versus some of the other East Brunswick parks. So the kids love it. We're excited to have the new variety.
You can picnic here, you can play basketball, and you can play some tennis.
My little guy said he wants to come to this park every day.
I wish I had this as a kid. Country Lane Park. There's a lot going on in East Brunswick. All right, and we are back again, finishing up episode 19 of the Buzz About East Brunswick. You know, I got to tell you, I really am authentically excited for Restaurant Week. I think that's fun, and you know what you guys described, walking through the cemetery there. That, oh my God, that seems like that's going to be really, really cool.
Each year they do a different character. It's really, it is very, very, very cool. There's some people that are buried there all the way back to the American Revolution. It's crazy.
I bet. Listen, we touched upon it when we were there at the museum. I can't believe, how many, historical figures have come through East Brunswick. So I can only imagine who's buried there in that cemetery.
Yeah.
Hey, so another big thing is that there is a holiday going on right now. Diwali?
Correct. It's actually last night at the Township Council meeting, we gave a recognition, is it Hindu Heritage Month? Mm-hmm. And of course it falls at the holiday of Diwali.
Okay.
And so the last couple of days, there's been a whole bunch of different celebrations throughout the town for the holiday. Mm-hmm. They had a mega Diwali celebration at the fairgrounds on the weekend.
That's great.
And there was a program yesterday over at the East Brunswick Library.
Oh, nice.
Which was actually pretty well attended since everybody was so panicked about the weather.
Considering
that I thought no one would be there, it was actually pretty well attended, with some dance and costumes and just generally good cheer because it's a happy holiday.
Yep.
And then this week, Wednesday, tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll have a lighting ceremony right here on the grounds of the municipal complex, celebrating Diwali.
So I have a couple of friends that celebrate Diwali, and they have their house all lit up already.
Yeah.
They have flashing lights all over the place. It really does. It is really neat, especially like at night, because usually I'm so used to just decorating the house for Christmas, and now I see so many people decorating the house for Halloween. But to see houses lit up for Diwali is really cool and festive. It's very festive.
It's very festive. It's a happy holiday, and I think that we've got a large population of people that celebrate it here, and like every group, we want to try to give people an opportunity to explain, celebrate their holiday, and have the ability to have others participate, so we can learn more about other people's cultures and food, because it's always around food.
It's always about food. It really is.
It's always about food.
East Brunswick really and truly is very culturally diverse. I think that's really a proud moment for yourself as the mayor of East Brunswick. It's really nice, for East Brunswick to be that town.
Well, I think Jersey is in general a very diverse state, and Middlesex of all of the counties is one of the most diverse.
Okay.
And we're an extremely diverse town. So think about it. In the entire United States, we're probably about as diverse as it gets.
Wow. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something else going on that's big for the residents, and it's called free cycling. When you get a chance to get rid of all that old junk in your house and bring it on down and get rid of it. Tell us about that.
So, see, the Friends of the Environmental Commission run that program. They usually do that a couple of times a year, and it gives people the opportunity to take things that they would have ordinarily just thrown in the garbage, would end up at the landfill, and we'd have to pay for it to be dumped up there.
Sure.
And it's probably going to take a half a millennium for it to
it'll never
decompose. Right.
Yeah, right.
So better that it be used by somebody that might want something than to just throw it out.
Yeah.
And so it's all day on Saturday.
It's great.
Over at the Community Arts Center. So you just bring things that you would like to throw out, and you can walk around and look at items that you might find that you would like to take.
One man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Exactly true.
Right, seriously, and you never know where you can find it. So it's really great. So I think it's a cool, it comes full circle for free cycling.
There's some people that deliberately do this because they're good at recognizing things that you might not have known has value.
Yeah, antiques.
And they'll get there early, and they'll scour through all those things, and they'll pop up and find the thing that you didn't think was valuable, but to them it absolutely is.
Yeah. And then later on today, we're all headed over to the East Brunswick Ice Rink, and there is something that's going on there. What can you tell us about what's happening?
So, as you know, the Ice Rink is on schedule to open up in December.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Get your skates sharpened.
Nice.
And although I remember you did a segment years ago with Bruce Driver where you had yourself mic'd up.
And they checked me into the wall.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
You got some pretty good checks because I thought you weren't coming up.
No, he hit me pretty hard right into the boards. A lot of fun that was.
Yeah, maybe we'll redo that.
No, please. No, I can't take the body checks anymore. I am getting older now. No way.
But our Assemblyman Sterling Stanley and Rob Karabinchek, who are our legislative representatives in the assembly, are there to take a tour, take some pictures, and then take some well-deserved credit for the fact that they helped us get about $3 million from the state to help use as a grant towards building that. Now, of course, it costs more than $3 million, but I think that the last time they had a chance to do that was when we were doing the groundbreaking.
Right.
It's come a long way.
Sure it has.
So,
so I've been fortunate enough to see it, as it's going from the ground up, and it really looks beautiful. It really does. There's 2 rinks inside it.
Yes.
I mean, just gorgeous. The place is huge, but as we all know, there is a reason why there's 2 rinks. It's much more beneficial to the town, profitable.
Yeah, it's more profitable to the township. If it was only one, then we would be monopolized by people that live here who paid for it, which would be fair. But if you really want to monetize it, bring in the tournaments, get the different programs that come in and bring in dollars that will help make that really truly self-sustaining, you need to have two. If we also built one and then built another one later, then all of the work that has been provided by the developer in terms of the sewers and the waters and the grading and the parking lot that he's paying for, if you rode over all of that later to build the second rink, then repairing that now becomes our dime.
Right.
And I'm cheap.
Could you imagine the pushback? They would have said, "Why didn't you build it the first time?" That's what they would have said. It didn't matter. You can't win. But you did it the right way by putting two rinks in at first.
And now as you go in each day, as I do, it's a lot more fun to watch, because in the beginning it was the hardcore construction work that was being done.
Correct.
Didn't change much from day to day.
Right.
Now they're starting to do more of finishing touch type of work. So each day it does look significantly like more was done.
That's great. I'm looking forward to it. I've been invited to go over and see it as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. And it is a pretty nice place, even from the outside, because now the outside walls are up and everything. You can see it actually, take shape. And now, are we looking for a title, like something they're going to name it, right?
Well, if somebody wants to donate me a ton of money, I'll put their name up there.
There you go. There you go. I like that. Well, listen, guys, I think this has been an excellent episode. Anything else you want to cover before we take off?
I think we did a nice little walk around East Brunswick. We've got some parks that are scheduled to be finished. We had the work that was done at Lenape Park.
Lenape Park. I'm on top of that one. I have to get back over there and see the progression of what they did with that as well. That's right.
So, and then we've got some time now where we're going to sit around the table as a bunch of departments and figure out what our projects are for next year. But we've got some really phenomenally exciting things lined up for next year.
And the Winter Festival's coming around the corner.
That's beautiful.
And we are going to be podcasting live from that location as well. So that'll be pretty neat. I'm excited to do that.
Are we going to get Santa to sit with us too?
We got to get Santa, the elf, the Grinch. We got to have them all. Everybody will be on the podcast. That'll be a festive podcast.
No, that'll be. And that one, I really, really do want people to come. It's truly a Hallmark postcard when you see the work.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so there you go, guys. On behalf of episode 19 of The Buzz About East Brunswick, hey, listen, again, if you want to email us, drop us an email at baeb@buzzabouteb.com. Thanks for watching us on YouTube at EBTV 26, and thanks for streaming us whenever you can. And that's it. So on behalf of Robert Zuckerman, myself, Mayor Cohen.
All right, we'll be into the 20s next time. Whoa.
Episode 20.
All right.
Nice job, bro. Nice job. All right, this has been episode 19. We are out of here, and that's The Buzz About East Brunswick.